as the country faces its biggest economic contraction in almost 9 decades due to the coronavirus pandemic. Sales fell by a record 63.4% in the second quarter compared to the year before. Now, this is according to the National Association of Automobile Manufacturers of South Africa. Now, lockdown restrictions imposed from the 27th of March have forced dealerships to close their doors for 5 weeks. Joining me now to talk more on this is Mienie, who is a motoring expert and AutoTrader CEO. Good to talk to you this afternoon, George. Now, how have the sales been? The report is out. What do the numbers reflect as far as the impact of lockdown on car sales?
Thanks for having me, Thami. Well, as you pointed out there, new car sales are down a significant amount. Just in the last month, it's down over 30% for the passenger market. Consumers continue to, however, prefer used cars over new at the moment, something we also saw in 2008 when the financial crisis hit. It's not necessarily a good thing because the aggregate level of sales isn't up if you added new and used together, and new car, as you know, is a feeder into the used car market, which means that we would suffer from an aging fleet if consumers continued to trade only used cars or a significant amount of used cars over new. So new car buying needs to be stimulated. On the used car front, searches have increased year on year on our platform on AutoTrader by 49% and is up again 2% month on month. And inquiries to dealers are up 18%. And this shows the continued shift from new cars to used cars for the consumer.
But surely, George, this ought not to be that much of a surprise considering the financial pressures that South Africans are finding themselves under right now.
That's absolutely spot on. It's not necessarily a surprise. The high levels, we didn't see these high levels in 2008. So, this swing feels like it is more pronounced than it was in 2008. And it's a buyer's market. So at the moment, you can get some nearly new used car deals.
So what does this actually mean for consumers? Yes, they get a good deal, but let's weigh it up. Let's see the pros and the cons of buying used cars as opposed to going for a new car.
Well, there's a couple of factors, Thami. The first is it being a buyer's market, nearly new or used cars is the thing to go for. I mean, we're in a situation where we're seeing record low interest rates, and car manufacturers are also offering great finance deals on new cars. So new cars are still a place you could get a really good deal. Listings on AutoTrader for 2019 models are up 32% from June to July, and the 2019 Toyota makes make up about half of the top 10 lists listed on our platform. So there are some good deals in the market at the moment for the consumer, and weighing it up, you do get more bang for your buck for a used car. You spend the same amount of money, and you could get a very feature-rich car. As an example, the Datsun Go, the average selling price in July for a 2019 model was 123,000 Rand, which is a significant saving over the price of a new Datsun Go, which starts at 174,000 Rand. So just in the price alone, the used car is better bang for your buck, and consumers are opting for it.
Obviously, a really good deal for consumers. They seem to be coming out as the winners in this particular situation. But what about the actual, car owners, or rather the actual businesses and the economy? How is that being affected by this? We know that we've been talking about the entire country, talking about economic stimulation and economic redress.
Well, Thami, definitely the situation isn't all rosy. Just because used car is very buoyant and there's a swing from new to used, it doesn't mean that the overall picture is positive, because we all know that it's not that positive. And I never try to predict the future, because if you try and predict the future, you're probably wrong most of the time. So while it's a buyer's market, consumers as a whole are not necessarily winning. And some examples examples of that is private listings on AutoTrader have sharply increased by 43% during lockdown level 3 versus 4. And in August, private listings are lower than July, very slightly by 5%. But in July and August together, we've seen the largest surge of people wanting to sell their cars privately, 35% as a matter of fact. So this potentially indicates a further financial hardship. If somebody wants to privately sell their car, if you privately sell your car, you more than likely get a better retail price for the car rather than trading the car in. So the industry as a whole is taking strain, but it's good to see that South Africans are still searching and buying cars.
And which class of vehicles, George, are the ones that are being listed right now that people are selling? Are we seeing more luxury vehicles, more entry level, or middle of the road?
Well, it's more towards the bottom end and middle of the road. There's always a lid to every pot. So the entire spectrum of vehicles are being searched for. But under 200,000 Rand cars are the most buoyant at the moment.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that update as we look at the rate of car sales during this lockdown period. The report indeed has been released. New car sales down, but second-hand cars or pre-owned cars or nearly new cars, those seem to be quite buoyant in the market.